Hello friends, welcome to today's video. Today, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a mask with me. I haven't done one of these in a little while. If you are new to these on my channel, basically it is a chance to chat a little bit. We're going to get a mask. I have this one, which is a 10-minute mask. I would encourage you to pause this video and get your own 10-minute mask. We will put it on and then I will chat for 10 minutes. I will keep track of the time. I think I'll throw some relaxing music in the background. And at the end of it, we will have had a wonderful skincare moment and also just a chance to chat. If you're anything like me, you probably have a number of face masks around, but then you never really fit it into your day to do it. So this is your moment. This is your reminder. Let's put on a mask and take care of our skin and have a bit of a relaxation self-care moment. I'm going to be using this Nip and Fab mask. It's the Instant Glycolic Fix Mask or Glycolic Instant Fix Mask. It's not a review of this, but I do believe I have a review of this on my channel, so I will try to link to that down below. But at this point, I'm going to put this on, so it would be a good time to pause the video and get your mask on, and then come back and we're going to chat a little bit about why I've been not so active on my channel over the last week and a half or so. Let's get this mask on. That was definitely the last time I can use that mask. I got the last little bit out. I'm gonna have to find another one I like using for these videos because I like that this one is clear so the mask doesn't super distract while I'm chatting. So there we go, my mask is on and I've set a timer for 10 minutes for us. So I've put up sort of one video each week for the last couple of weeks, and I just want to chat a little bit about what's been going on with me. And it's just that I've been feeling a little under the weather in a way, but let me sort of give you the little bit of a story here. I was lucky enough that I was able to book getting my first dose of vaccine on May 1st. The AstraZeneca vaccine, I was getting it through a pharmacy and I was super happy to be able to go and get it. So it's funny, the day of, so May 1st was a Saturday, and my appointment was around 9:30, I think it was in the morning. And my sister had told me that there have been studies that have been done that show that the vaccine is most effective if you get 30 minutes of exercise that day and if you are in a good mood when you get it. I do think the exercise thing is true. It sort of gets your blood going, and I've seen some studies about that. The good mood one, I have seen the articles about it, but I think it's, a little bit more questionable. But I got up in the morning, I got on my Peloton bike, I did a half hour of biking, felt really good. I had to drive across town to go to my appointment. It's been really hard to get appointments, so that was the closest place I could get. And I listened to a podcast along the way, the Rhett and Link Ear Biscuits podcast. I haven't listened to a ton of them, but I really like them. So that was getting me laughing and in a good mood. I went and got my shot and, was feeling fine. I was actually so excited afterwards. I couldn't sit still for 15 minutes. And I sat there for my 15 minutes. And then the rest of the day, I was also feeling totally fine. I exercised even more later on that day. But the next day after that, I was feeling, just tired and headachy. I wasn't totally wiped out or anything, but I wasn't feeling great. So I didn't do a whole lot that day. And I kind of expected that, so no problem. And I actually didn't mind that I was feeling crappy because I wanted to know that the vaccine was doing what it's supposed to do, and if it was my body setting off antibody response, then I was gonna feel crappy, and that's okay. So I was looking forward to feeling better the next day, which was the Monday, but also on the Sunday, Shark Week started, and I was feeling on the next day after that, which would have been the Monday, I was just feeling super crappy and crampy and just not feeling very good. So I was kind of laying low and not really doing too much physical that day either. And then the next morning I woke up and thought, oh, I'm gonna be so happy to be feeling better today. And the only thing after the Sunday, it really did feel like somebody had punched me really hard in the arm. was feeling like it didn't look bruised, but it felt like it was super bruised, and it was like a little achy there. But that's fine. So I thought the next day I'll wake up and be feeling better because I won't be feeling crampy anymore. And somehow, and I guess this is a thing that happens when you get older, I managed to pull a muscle in like my neck and my shoulder while I was sleeping. So this muscle right here has been feeling super sore. And I was just feeling frustrated because like I was finding it hard. It was just feeling achy. I was finding it hard to like sit in any way that felt okay. And I was just having a week where it was like, I just want to feel good and be able to do some exercise and not focus on like my body feeling crappy. And I just wasn't feeling great. So that was kind of that week. It wasn't a wash, but I was focusing on getting the stuff done that I needed to get done. And sometimes YouTube falls by the wayside. I also haven't really done any grocery hauls lately because I just have like a freezer full of stuff and I need to start like working through my pantry and my freezer. So it hasn't been super exciting in terms of what I've been buying. But I thought I would also mention on here, I sort of made reference to being happy that the vaccine felt like it was working for me. I have this weird history with vaccines where I've gotten more, I think, than your average person has. And like, that's fine. You know, I had all of my regular booster shots and like shots and everything when I was a kid. You know, I went to every doctor's appointment that I was supposed to growing up. And then when I was in high school, we had a couple of issues with like tuberculosis and meningitis in my high school. So I know I got a TB test. I feel like I also got a meningitis vaccine or test. I don't really remember what it was. And then when I got to university, I was hoping to get into veterinary medicine. So I was doing a bunch of volunteer work with animals, and I actually got my rabies vaccine because that was required for some of the work that I was doing in some of my volunteer work. So I got my rabies vaccines, which I think wear off after a little while. And people talk about those ones being like painful, but I don't remember it being particularly bad. And then when I started my working life, I ended up working at a couple of hospitals. So my very first like big girl job coming out of university and all the courses I did was at a hospital. I've always worked on the administration side of it. I never worked with patients. But when I went there, one of the things about working at a hospital is they have to have your vaccination record. And for whatever reason, I didn't have mine. Like the point where I was growing up, my vaccine record was something that like the doctor would just like hand make notes in. And I think my parents had it, but I didn't have access to it. And they said, it's not a problem if you don't have it. We just take your blood and like test for your immunity to everything. So we did that. And the nurse called me and said, I've never seen this before. And it's like, okay, that's not really something you want to hear from a nurse. And she said, every once in a while, you get, when you're young, your MMR vaccine, which is measles, mumps, rubella. And she said, every once in a while, I see somebody who's not immune to like one of those things. She said, but you're not immune to like any of them. And I sort of questioned it because I said, like, I've had all my vaccines. And she said, well, it could be that, you know, whatever the vaccine you had, it wasn't stored properly. It's no problem. We'll come in and give you a booster shot. So I went and got a booster shot for my MMR vaccine. Number of years go by, change jobs, and I start a job at a different hospital. And they say to me, oh, do you have your vaccine record? And I don't. Like, I still don't have a copy of it. They're like, it's no problem. We will take your blood. They take my blood, they call me back, and they say, you're not immune to measles, mumps, or rubella. And I was like, no, I should be. I've had a booster shot. They gave me another booster shot. I got my blood taken again. Still showed very little immunity. I got another booster shot. Did they take my blood again at that point? Whatever it was, I think after the second test, they're like, we're just gonna give you one more booster and then that'll be it. Like, there are just some people who don't, like, you're immune, but it just doesn't show up on our tests. So I've had like 3 more MMR vaccines than people normally have, in addition to like my rabies vaccine. And I do get my flu shot seasonally every year as well. But all of this to say, I was going into getting my COVID vaccine. It was sort of like, well, like, is this gonna work for me? So I was actually pretty happy that I felt sore, that I felt kind of gross, because it was like, okay, my body is fighting this. I am creating antibodies, which is what we are looking to do in this entire process. But I also think it goes to show why it's important for everybody who can get vaccinated to get vaccinated. That whole herd immunity thing. I'm pretty sure that I create immunity. It just doesn't show up on tests, but there are people out there who don't create immunity or for whatever reason can't get vaccinated. So the rest of us should do our part. So I am very excited that I have my second appointment booked here in Canada. We're booking like a longer time period between the two vaccines, but the pharmacist did say to me that it would likely be moved up. So I had my first shot and I am looking forward to getting my second one and just feeling like we can get to a good place. And so that is what I have been up to over the last little while, but I'm happy to say that I'm feeling better now. I got up and I exercised this morning. I still feel a bit of tenderness in my shoulder and my neck, so I'm trying to like sleep in a way where I don't irritate it anymore, and I'm trying not to do any like upper body or like shoulder exercise right now just until everything calms down. But I'm just so excited that I'm starting to feel better again, and honestly the vaccine feeling crappy was not as bad as the pulled muscle feeling crappy. So I just want my body to feel good so I can get back to doing what I want to do. So there we are, and we are actually coming up to our 10 minutes now. So just before we hit our 10 minutes, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this. I hope you put a mask on and had some time to enjoy a little bit of skincare. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I know I just do these mask with me's every once in a while, but I like getting a chance to chat about something outside of my usual videos. So once again, thank you so much, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Go wash off your mask now.